obviously done a lot of research and watched a bunch of YouTube videos and read stuff. And you said in one of your readings for Short Ordered Ocean, your first collection, you would get dropped off at the writing center growing up. Can you talk about those experiences in Bethesda and like what that was like, having that a tremendous resource available to you like at such a young age?
Yeah, it was fantastic. So the Writers Center in Bethesda is a really great place, and there are a handful of places like it around the country in different cities. So I was just lucky to grow up in Maryland, in Bethesda, and I remember sort of stumbling on it, being in, I guess, late middle school, early high school, and just literally like going to like a Chinese restaurant with my family, and it was nearby to that, and looking, being like, the Writers Center? There's a place for people who like to write? Like, this is crazy. And so I took some classes there and met a woman named Rose Solari, who became kind of a mentor. And it was just this great resource. They had literary magazines, they had writing workshops, they had readings. So I felt really lucky to have that resource. And I mean, I grew up in a place that I think growing up, and maybe a little bit still now, I think of it as like a non-place. It's a suburb, it's sort of like the non-cultural American life. And so, but that said, I feel like that kind of what I thought of as like a non-culture made me sort of do soul searching about what did I think culture was. And so I kind of had to seek out these resources that were there. I mean, in growing up outside of DC, there were free museums, there were all kinds of cultural things happening, but I sort of had a typical American teenage sense of, I've got to get out of here to find culture. So I think I appreciate those cultural elements of my teenage years more now than maybe I did then.
I don't know, like for some reason, I don't know if this is how accurate this is, but I just imagine the movie Matilda when she just goes to the library and she just loves it so much. I just kind of get maybe that sense with you where you just found it and like you did your own thing and you really kind of, it evolved obviously to this and where you are now.
It's true, and I think I always, and I think this is true, I mean, of a lot of, I would hope it's true of everybody, but where there's like a rich interior life that I still have that I feel it overlaps with the life that I live publicly, but I think I always kind of, retreated a little bit into like the life of the mind, or the life of books. So there is an element of that, and some of it, I mean, I wasn't an English major in college, I was a fine art major, so I think, and now I paint and I draw, but that's kind of more like the secret life, and the writing life is more the public life. So maybe there's something in me that like wants to have this kind of interior place. I think when writing or art or anything creative feels too much like work, like this is my career, I kind of pull back a little bit from that. So anything that still makes it kind of tap back into that sense growing up of it was like a good secret that I had, in a secret world, I think I kind of still get a kick out of that.
Maybe if you, I mean, he's got a bunch of questions about your art and everything. Maybe you could do a piece called The Secret Life of Dora Malech or something like that.
I like that, that's good.